Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Netflix movies.
I'm Brian. I like Netflix movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Netflix movies, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Wow. Hi, everybody.
Oh, boy.
Welcome back.
Man.
For those that have attended Deck the Hallmark school before, back to school, back to school almost. You guys
It's
excited
like
about back to
July
school?
30th.
I know. July
It's
30th.
sneaking up on us.
Abbeville County's going back today,
Yeah,
Dan.
they're in that new thing.
That new
They're
thing.
going to go to school all year long.
Really?
Yeah.
But Greenville County's only like a week and a half
August 8th.
off
Yeah.
of
But then
that.
the rest of the world is like Labor Day.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Pretty
Labor
crazy.
Day. Yeah.
Abbeville County is going back
So is
going back to
Greenwood.
school before tax-free weekend.
But they're gonna
and
get-
it should be illegal.
But they're going to get off 2 weeks, like in the middle of, like they get off random 2 weeks.
We
here.
get off. There's so much. Kids are off school so
Yeah.
dang
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
So many days.
Send the kids to school. That's
When,
all
when
I'm
did we
saying.
stop teaching? When did kids stop going
Someone
to
who has to
school?
coordinate childcare. I just
Yeah.
send the kids to school. Let them learn.
That's the biggest
begging
takeaway.
for it.
The biggest shift in focus as a parent has been like, man,
Yeah.
the kids aren't in school enough. Kids need to be in
Say that a
school.
lot.
Used to be,
lately,
yeah. It
Kids
used
need
to
to
be
be-
like why like
Yeah,
when's a break?
when's
And
a break?
now it's when are they going?
Yeah.
I mean, they're only-
We're always on break.
I used to think kids
And
were in
it
school for
shows.
180 days, and then I heard it's only 172. Like, are we even going?
Yeah.
That's less than half the year, people. What are
Yeah.
we doing?
Really?
I know.
Wow.
I know. Well, it takes less time for the never mind. I was going
Yeah.
to make a woke mob joke, but we're not here for that.
No, we're not.
We're here to talk about a family affair. A family
Let's get it
affair.
drunk on it,
Netflix.
on it in this nursery.
Netflix is a platform
Do
that
we need
I
any hateration?
no hateration. I haven't been on Netflix in a minute.
Really?
I was
Wow,
reminded.
look at
I
you.
just what is there to watch?
I watch a ton of stuff on Netflix.
Like what?
My wife watches The Great British Baking.
Oh,
Okay.
love
Which
that.
I watched one episode of, and that was plenty for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
And
see
every
that.
single episode, a woman who is maybe 100 tastes every cake and tells them it's lovely.
Yeah.
Every one of them that she just says it's lovely.
So nice.
And it's just like a warm bath where
Yeah.
nothing happens of importance, and people seem to really love
But
it.
when something does happen, you really notice it.
I guess.
It really
well,
hits.
I watched one and I was out.
Okay, so
I was
that's
out.
something that you're. What have you been watching?
I'm watching Bodkin with
Okay.
Will
Yeah.
Forte.
Okay.
Currently on Netflix.
There you go.
You're watching Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
You watch Cobra
Ooh.
Kai.
Yeah, I haven't dipped into the new one
I haven't
yet.
dipped
I'm
into the
looking
new one.
forward to it.
My
tell you
point
that.
is there's a lot on Netflix that I watch.
You know what? There's also a lot on it, and I would say it rivals it.
Yep.
What's
let's
that?
hear it.
Actually, I think it has a one-up on it.
Boy,
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's Philo.
Oh, well, yeah, of
can't
course.
argue with
I thought you were
that.
going to say Apple.
No.
That was
Philo,
way better.
Philo.tv
The
slash
70 plus
DTH.
channels, the 30,000 hours of streaming, like, oh, it's all kinds of crazy good stuff.
Unlimited DVR.
Unlimited DVR.
Unlimited DVR. So if you are thinking
pick.
about trying something,
Yeah.
add it to your DVR, and if you like it, keep it there. If you don't like it, get rid of it. It doesn't, or just keep it there too. It doesn't matter.
A good
It's not gonna count
supplement to
against you.
education the kids aren't getting when they're not in school.
That's
as
right.
well,
They
so.
can. It's just an unlimited DVR. They just keep watching.
Yeah. Just
And
keep going.
there's educational stuff on there.
Yeah,
There's some
so
kids
much.
channels.
I've been educated
Yeah.
by watching it.
Philo Deep Dive as well.
That's right.
Every week or every other, depending on how things are going.
And on the weather. Back to
Depending on the
school,
weather.
everybody.
Exactly.
and the
right.
school schedule.
Can I ask you guys this? A highlight of Christmas in July. What was it for you?
Bramblefest.
Obviously.
Bramblefest.
Boss Baby Fest as well.
Yeah,
A close
Bramblefest
second.
was amazing. I know we talked about it all
I was
last
mainly
week.
Yeah.
I was mainly meeting
movies?
The movies, yes. But
Oh, there
yes.
wasn't one. Violent Night. I love
Okay.
Violent Night.
Ooh.
I thought it was great. The three Hallmark offerings. Tough sledding out there.
Just choke on something? There?
It got
Something in your
worse.
throat?
Every one of the movies was worse than the previous movie.
Well,
Yeah, listen, our
about that.
lists
Yeah.
don't align, and that's okay.
What do you? What is? I didn't even see your
Yeah,
list.
you-
I
did
hadn't
you-
posted. I didn't
Okay.
want to get the ridicule for having the beer movie
that's
number
the
one.
Oh, yeah. We'd really lay that
You
on
have the
thick.
beer movie one.
Yeah, I have beer movie one.
You have
Okay,
lost
do
your
it now.
mind.
I have
You
beer, I have
lost
the
your
beer
mind.
movie one. Okay,
You've
No,
been having
I
a
don't
few.
think that's
beers if
okay.
you think
beer
that is-
movie
there's
beer movie snowflake nut crack.
Are we playing a game? Like we have to interpret beer movies. Snowflake, Nutcracker.
That's my 1, 2, 3.
Did it make you
Word
want to have a beer?
association.
Have you
No.
had a beer in a while? I haven't had a beer in a long
I haven't had a
time.
beer in a while.
A long time.
I haven't had a beer in a while. I just don't have the mouth for it. The mouth for the beer.
You don't have the mouth.
You don't?
for
Yeah, I
it.
don't have my mouth. My
A palate? You mean
palate's
like-
an interesting
I
way to
think we're
say
looking
it.
for palate.
No,
That's what we were
I
looking
would have
for.
got.
for
I don't
sure.
have the mouth for it.
He doesn't have the mouth for it. Honk honk.
I don't have the mouth for it. A lot of people do, and that's fine with them.
great.
But I just think that it is. I don't want to
Yet
have
you love
to.
the movie.
I don't want to have to work towards.
Aspirational.
That
liking-
beer movie is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. That the very, and it's not even called. It's called A Very Vermont Christmas. It's not even called a beer movie. It's called A Very Vermont Christmas. It's one of the worst Hallmark Christmas movies I've ever seen.
Okay.
Literally.
To each his own.
And I think if I think
You have a
could-
different mouth than me.
Yeah, I
That's
have
fine.
a different.
Yeah.
I don't have the mouth
You
for that
do-
movie.
you
I
don't
can
have
tell
the
you that.
mouth for it.
And I also can say this: if you were to rank every Hallmark Christmas movie we'd seen, that would not crack the top 100.
Let's do
not
it
even
now.
close.
Name
Wouldn't
every
crack-
continent.
It would crack the top 150. It may not crack the top 200.
Are we gonna do a tier list for all of the
All
Hallmark
time?
Christmas movies that
Dude.
we've ever watched?
Dude,
That'd be a whole series.
Dude.
That'd be a series. It's not a bad idea.
How would you?
we have to do this.
How would
Write
you
that
do
down.
it?
Tuck that away.
All the movies that you've seen?
Yeah.
Including
Brand just barking out
non-TV?
orders to Aaron Shea.
We should have
TV?
done
Write
it.
that down.
We should have done it after year
Aaron,
5.
do you have something to say? Do you have anything you want to contribute?
He
We can't hear you.
turned her mic off and camera off, and then just starts yelling to write stuff down.
Write it down.
Write that down.
Write it down. We should have done it after year 5 because it's like 5 years. Here's the 5 years. What are we
Quarter
going to do
century,
after
yeah.
7?
No, 6. I think it's this. I think this is what we do. I
We
think
do it
we've-
now?
How many? We got to figure out how many we've watched.
Yeah,
Find the
pick a
next
number
round
of movies.
number.
Like, yeah,
A lot.
Yeah.
We've
And
watched
then-
a lot.
Like
But like-
1,000?
We've probably watched 250 or 3. If we've gotten to 300, that's a perfect number to do it. How many Hallmark Christmas movies have we reviewed?
That's
I
a
mean,
good question.
I mean, we could figure
18,
this out.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 6 times 40 is 240. So we've done 240
When you get to
new
250.
ones.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have 40 more this year. That's 280. Maybe a little bit less than that because the first year's only 37.
Yeah, but there's some, yeah, I think we're close.
But then you add in all the classics we've done. We may be at 400.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I don't know. I think with the classics, I think we're at 300.
We've done more than 20 classics.
Christmas?
Yes,
You think so?
I know so. We've done some that definitely aren't classic.
This would be fun to go back.
Classic loosely.
I don't even know how long that would take us. I don't know how
considering
long.
how there's
hours,
so many movies that I don't remember that are just
Yeah,
nothing.
we'd really
burgers.
have to.
Should we do it in the marathon?
Yeah.
Kill half a day?
That is a whole. That's a whole ordeal. We tried to do a. By the way.
Hey!
A marathon announcement. We're very
Ooh.
excited. Marathon is coming back once again this October to kick off the holiday season. And us and all of the other Deck the Hallmark hosts will be spending an entire 24 plus hours in one house. You'll be able to watch the whole thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Things might get messy. The arguments
Yeah.
might break out.
Yeah. There's nowhere to hide.
nowhere to
Resentments
hide.
bubbling to the surface.
That's
Maybe.
right.
We'll
That's
see.
right. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But we did a kickoff or a preview. We did a preview episode during a marathon once, and it just kind of dragged.
It was the worst.
You can't.
It's my nightmare.
You
Can't do
can't
a
do
real-
programmatic stuff.
Sure.
No,
during
because
the-
there was no energy for bits. And the preview episode
Right.
lives and dies on nobody
Well, I don't
caring
know. We don't
about the
usually do
preview
a lot
episode.
of-
Speaking of which, preview show coming out later this week for August. Very excited
Yes.
about that. Let's get to a family
There's a
affair.
movie called
Pre-fall.
Junebug coming out in August. I
Yes,
saw this and
very
I
soon.
almost lost my mind.
Called
Why?
Junebug.
It's a cool name.
Junebug
Yeah.
in August?
Yeah, I think it's mainly the fact that it's coming out.
In August, yeah, but June's done. Like, it's just,
Yeah,
you know,
whatever.
a little recall.
But it's probably her name is probably June.
That might-
It has nothing to do
Or
with
June.
it.
Or
What do you
maybe
want?
your nickname.
Could be your nickname,
Be your
Junebug.
nickname.
You want to change your name?
Yeah, I do. I don't want it. I want the
Nobody
movie
named
to come
June.
out in June.
It has nothing to do with the month.
Yeah.
Just like,
It's like
you're
the
looking at
preview
all wrong.
episode.
no, the preview show has
No,
everything.
no,
the
no,
preview
no,
show has
no.
everything
You
to
just
do.
change
with
it
it.
however you need it. That's what you're
Monthly.
doing.
It has everything to do with the month unless it's the holiday season. Then it has something to do.
All
with it.
rules
Everybody knows that.
out the window.
Family Affair originally dropped on Netflix, as the kids say. It dropped.
Get it
Kids still say that?
on.
The kids say dropped.
I don't know.
What is it? What do they kids say?
I'm sure the kids still say drop.
The A Family Affair yeeted on June 28th, 2024.
Let's get that going.
And it went a little something like
Definitely
this.
didn't do that.
It yeeted. We meet Chris Cole. He's a big movie
got
star.
Riz.
He does have Riz. He touches the grass.
Still say
His next big movie is about to
Zippity
start
bippity
filming.
toilet.
Yeah, yibbity, bibbity. Man, the toilet. He is at dinner with his girlfriend, and his personal assistant shows up, throws him a, what I think is a ring box. I think he's going to propose. He does not do that. He actually breaks up with her, and inside that box is earrings. It's a breakup gift, something I think we've all done before, the breakup gift.
Of course.
Yeah.
Something that normal people do. His assistant, Zara, gives him a ride.
Speaking of which, I got something for you guys.
Oh, that's sad. Well, what is it?
You breaking up with us, that's hysterical.
I'm intrigued by what it would be.
You guys can leave now. You're done.
This is mine now.
Is it a baked good?
I'm the captain.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. Is it those Pop-Tart bites? Brown sugar Pop-Tart bites?
We just decided we're calling them Pop-Tart Bites. Is that what we're doing?
I guess so.
Okay.
His assistant, Zara, gives him a ride home, and she's absolutely miserable. He's the worst. When she shows up, quote-unquote, late for work because she was meeting with a writer to rewrite the script, which is something that he asked her to do, he changes the gate code on her. Remember when he said "ate it on her" in that one movie?
Yeah, I do remember that.
That was an interesting thing to say.
Ate it on her.
Change
You
the
show up with a pot pie and then you eat it on her.
He changed the code
How
on
else
her.
to say that?
That's right.
So many ways.
She's so angry, she climbs the gate, walks inside, and quits on him. When she tells her mom is like, "You made a big mistake. You should have seen. You were so close to getting to the producer status." This upsets Zara, and she leaves. Chris, realizing that he's the one that made a mistake, goes to make things right with Zara. But Zara is nowhere to be found. Only Zara's mom, Brooke, is home. He ends up sticking around to wait for Zara. At least that was his initial intention. But after some drinking takes place, some chatters and whatnot, they start talking about the script and how she's a writer, and one thing leads to another, and they start to hook up. They're hooking up. Zara walks.
Make it weirder, Bram.
Well, Zara walks in on them hooking up
Yeah,
and chokes on a grape and then bangs her head against the wall. After going to her pediatrician, Chris promises Zara that it will not happen again, and that he wants her to come back to work for him, and that she will get that associate producer credit that she has been wanting. After one day of shooting the movie, he texts Brooke and asks for dinner. She reluctantly agrees, and she shows up to a completely rented out restaurant. That leads to them having quite the romantic evening, which leads to them having quite the romantic weekend, which leads to him asking her to rewrite the movie instead of the person that Zara found. When Zara finds this out, she confronts them, and Brooke is like, "I'm as happy as I've been in a long time," and Zara's like, "Shove off, Mom!" But after some encouragement from her grandma to let her mom have some fun, they all end up having Christmas together, and they actually have a great time. And that, my friends, no, that's not the movie. All of the fun comes to a halt after Zara notices after Zara notices diamond earrings in Chris's bags. That's his go-to breakup gift. So she confronts him, tells Brooke about how awful Chris is, and then shows the earrings. He claims it's not what it looks like, but no one believes him, and it's like, "Get out of here." But this, Brooke is hurt and is like, "Zara, you should have done it this way, blah, blah, blah." After the new year, Zara finds Chris in his trailer, upset and alone. Chris says that he shouldn't be playing good guys because he's a bad guy. But they make up. He's not so bad. Zara then goes to Brooke, admitting that she was wrong about Chris, but Brooke is still unsure. And so Zara sets up a quote-unquote chance encounter at the grocery store. They make up, they make out. We're all better for it, I guess. Cut to, I think, a year later, and Chris and Brooke are still doing well, and Zara has her very own office making big decisions. And that, my friends, was a family affair.
We did it.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to break this movie down here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about A Family Affair from Netflix from a month ago.
Yeah.
Month ago.
Wow.
Christmas-ish.
Adjacent, maybe you
Maybe.
could say it, but I wouldn't even. I don't know.
Christmas-ish.
But a good segue
segue
out of
Christmas in July.
That's
Correct.
exactly right, Dano. We have 4 segments to break this movie down. We're going to start with the hot take. It is where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. We do not hold back. And I'm going to kick it to my guy, Brian. Brian, you've been known to not hold things back, which is why you kicked this segment off, bud. What did you think about this movie?
It's really good.
Yeah, I ended up liking this one. It felt a little long.
little?
Not used to this.
A little long?
Yeah, a little long.
Hour
Comes in at an
53
hour
feels
50,
like
yeah.
purgatory when you're used to an hour 23.
Yeah. And I feel like they could have trimmed the fat a little bit and gotten it down.
No.
A little bit of space.
So you call him fat?
airtight.
No, that's not put words in my mouth. I don't have a mouth for that. Little long, but I like the Phil Dunphiness of Chris, like the kind of goofy, kind of aloof, a jerk. Like it felt a little extreme, but you gotta do that in movies, I guess. I like the little bit of inside Hollywoodness of it, a little bit behind the scenes, kind of cool. Don't usually see that. Good conflicts, but overall, just very disrespectful to Christmas. I felt.
And in what way?
Like, I didn't even realize. I felt like they used it when they needed it, and it wasn't really integral. It wasn't that important unless it needed to move something along the story, or they're like, oh, all of a sudden it's the day before Christmas, by the way.
Yeah.
One Christmas tree for like the first half of the movie.
I don't know if it's disrespectful as much as it is the edit, but I'll get to that. At my hot take, I think the edit is the problem, but I get how you. I see how you got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wish they just leaned into it a little bit more. Maybe front load it and back off it towards the end if we're trying to ease out of Christmas gently. But yeah, I thought, not bad overall. Pretty good flick.
Pretty good.
You're right about that disrespect, Bri. Completely disrespectful to Christmas. It was
It's
Christmas.
no beer movie.
Christmas was
Got that right.
used. It was used.
Yes.
And I
Vermont
didn't,
Christmas,
and I
it's
didn't
all
like
about
it.
breweries.
Unlike most of the movies we watched here,
Christmas.
where Christmas is shown the respect it deserves, in this movie it
And
was
death.
not shown the respect it deserves. This movie's okay. It's okay. I felt like it was kind of like 3 separate movies, and they said let's combine them all into one. And so you get a lot of like, whoa, what's going on here? So you talk about him being Phil Dunphy of Modern Family fame.
Sure. Yes.
He is until he isn't.
That's exactly right.
He
Thank
is
you.
until he
Thank
isn't.
you.
And then he is again for a second, and then he's great.
Yeah.
And the problem is we have this character Brooke, who is this established writer, and like she's like amazing and blah blah blah. There's no way that she's fallen for this Chris guy with him being the Phil Dunphy of it all.
That's right.
Early on.
Correct.
And it's like he just stops being that
Yep.
guy for a while in the middle of this movie. Really liked the beginning of this movie. I really liked the end of this movie. I thought that the grocery store scene where she produced it all, got all the
Yeah.
extras, blah, 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 the mist in the background, that all worked really well for me. It's the middle section that just like felt weird. Aside from the Christmas in the cabin, gave me great Christmas feels.
Nice Christmas there, yeah.
But again, abused Christmas, and I don't appreciate that. But overall, it's an okay. I felt like we had ourselves some really great potential in this movie, and it got lost in the weeds a little bit. It's also not a family affair. They weren't like
Correct.
That's just wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. The title made me.
Yes.
You mentioned this, Dan,
I
but
thought
I
it was a love
also
triangle. Yeah.
also thought that he and
Joey King.
King were going to be a thing, and then he was going to be to Mama, blah blah blah. And that's not what happened. And I don't mind this. I kind of like this. The love triangle seems a little bit too on the nose, but the title kind of threw me for a loop there. Dano,
Like everything virtually we've watched this year, it's better than A Very Vermont Christmas. Having said that, this movie it's a mess.
Talk about disrespect, huh?
Yeah.
Man.
You agree with that? You think?
No.
Okay, I was about to say. This movie's a mess. Tonally, it's all over the map. It doesn't know if it's a Christmas movie or not. It seems like it was re-edited, repackaged, repurposed numerous times, and the version we get isn't a complete version of anything. It's not really a romantic comedy. It's not really a drama. It's not really a Christmas movie. It's kind of all three of those things. That's unfortunate. We see that in how it's shot and edited. We see that in its use of Christmas. We also see that in the performances. You have Kathy Bates, Nicole Kidman, both Academy Award winners, like acting titans, giving some performances that this movie just doesn't deserve, especially in a few scenes where you're like, they went way too hard here. Then you've got the Efron character who starts off as this very lovable, meathead, not bright kind of guy, and it's really funny. The first 20 or 30 minutes have several quality laughs in it. Then all of a sudden, they flip it. Like Brand said, they make him this like deep, smart character because that's who Nicole Kidman would go for. They also, weirdly enough, in my opinion, kind of gaslight Joey King's character for feeling bad. Like, I get it. She's supposed to recognize that her mom, she's supposed to see her mom for who her mom is. That's not what I'm mad about. But some stuff they do in this movie crosses the line, like having her hire a writer and then going behind her back to hire somebody else's writer, lying to her. And then after she finds this out, they make her feel bad for feeling mad. And I thought that was ridiculous. I kind of like Joey King and Zac Efron's chemistry a little bit better, although Nicole Kidman can really do no wrong. So it's just a mess. There's a lot on screen happening. Most of it doesn't land, occasionally funny, but this movie doesn't fill any of the buckets it kind of claims to be. And so that kind of makes it a very forgettable mess.
If you're gonna watch one mom falling in love with a younger man movie this summer, make it The Idea of You. Would you agree with that, Aaron? Idea of You better than this movie? You don't have a mic. But
Can't
what?
hear her.
Just yell.
Can't
it.
hear you.
Yes or no?
Thumbs up or down?
I've not seen The Idea of You.
Wow, good job there.
I mean, yes to The Idea of You, but if I had to watch any movie, if I watch The Idea of You, then it makes me just want to watch Red, White, and Royal Blue because that's the best movie of all three.
Red,
Idea of You is not a
White,
good movie.
Royal Blue.
Idea of You is not a good movie. It's not a good
great.
movie.
That's all I needed to hear.
None of it.
It's one too many breakups. Too many. But it's a better movie than this.
A lot of geometry.
A lot of
Sounds
geometry.
like. Yeah.
Better movie. I'm just saying, if it gets us to say, it's like, hey, I'm a mom falling for an older famous.
The people in this movie and that made this movie look like it would be of more interest to me than what I watched today.
Oh man, the chemistry of those two and the Idea of You is
Michael
insane.
Showalter directing and Anne Hathaway. That
Insane.
seems like
Really?
Insane chemistry.
That sounds way better.
yeah.
Boy.
Let's get to all the feels. It's where we talk about what this movie gave us those feels. Brian.
Michael Showalter directing Anne Hathaway, I think is my feels.
Yeah.
This movie.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Okay.
The family affair movie.
This
All right.
movie.
I do have one for this one, and it was at a certain point early on. He sends her out to shop for her at the grocery store at night, and I love grocery shopping at night. So that was my feels, just grocery shopping at nighttime when it's nice and quiet. It's the best.
God.
It's the best.
I don't even.
It's the best
How
way to
many has your
shop.
heart rate ever been above 90?
Not if I can help it.
Do you go grocery shopping at night before or after you kill somebody?
yeah.
That's a good question.
You do
Brad.
full grocery shopping at night, my wife and I go to the grocery store on Fridays in the morning for the week. Like we meal plan, we go to the grocery store.
I go a few. It'll pop in and out.
I get sent to the grocery store
Yeah,
a couple.
yeah.
Oh yeah, whatever.
But also, I'll plan to, like, if I know I need some stuff, I'll be like, all right, I'm going to do that, tomorrow night. I'm going to go for that stuff. Make it a little trip. Yeah, hit a few spots, put on some tunes, roll down those windows.
Are you clubbing, but grocery stores?
Yeah, basically.
We'll pregame at Publix.
Yes,
We'll
all
pregame at
across
Publix.
the street.
Yeah.
Kroger.
We'll go to Aldi.
Lidl's got that good orange
They
seltzer.
got cheap drinks at Aldi. We'll go to Aldi next. We'll finish where we
And
always
definitely
finish.
Target. Finish at
Bilo.
Target. No.
You got to finish at Target.
Got it,
You gotta
man.
finish at Target.
That ice cream's on a
hit
belt. if you
hit
it
the
too
dollar
soon.
spot. Do the whole thing.
Love that.
You never know what you're gonna find.
Nighttime
Never know.
shopping trip.
There's early on in this movie when Zac Efron's still dumb. His house is massive, and he changed the code on her. We can't do that. So she climbs the gate and then gets to the front door, and it's one of those giant doors.
Yeah.
And her struggling
Yes.
with the door
Twice.
was the highlight of this movie for me. I thought it was very funny.
Don't slam that door.
And I've literally, I anytime I see these doors on like HGTV and stuff, I'm like, the idea of this door is better than the actual door itself. Like I imagine there's a lot of problems with doors like that, and them making fun of those doors made me happy in this movie. Dano?
Yeah, mine similarly is not that moment with Joey King, which is a funny moment. It's when she walks in on the two of them, chokes on the grape, spits the grape out, hits her head, falls down. The physical comedy there was off the charts.
Her hitting, I didn't see her hitting her head. I didn't see it
Really,
coming.
really funny, like legitimately well shot, well acted.
And then
Got
they
a-
take her to the pediatrician,
Yeah,
which is
that
really
whole
funny.
like 5 minutes, I'm like, did we just get into like some sort of screwball comedy here? And I'm here for it. And then it's gone after that.
And there's a montage of Zac Efron and they're just, like on the looking out, and it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
here?
we ruined it after that.
Yeah.
We had a good thing
the
going.
pediatrician like asking him questions
Yeah,
about
that
like
was great.
Yeah, and him like,
really
oh,
funny.
I guess I gotta go be a doctor. You know, that was really funny.
Let's take one more quick break. We'll come back. We'll get to the the Hallmark double decker of the week on tap today as well. It was a full day here on Deck the Hallmark. Deck the Hallmark. I said it too early.
Yeah, you did. You didn't know what you're doing.
I got lost. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about a family affair from Netflix. Big movie, big cast, big fun. I don't know. It's time for the Wait What. It's where we
You already said.
talk about what in this movie made us go, wait, what? Brian, anything?
Yeah, the lack of Christmas early on. I mean, there was one Christmas tree for a very long time, and it turned into a little bit more Christmas later on. But early on, I was just like, who are you trying to fool with this? And I wasn't even sure if it was Christmas time at first, because you breeze by the tree, nobody mentions it, nobody says anything about it. So that was a little bit, what the heck. Then Zara, she didn't even really feel bad, it seemed like, for being kind of like rude to the relationship of it. I thought that maybe she should just chill out a little bit about it. And I guess both sides of it were
I was
like,
on the other side of that.
I know, I
because
noticed
they
that.
lied to her.
yeah, that's where it's weird.
It
It's a
is-
weird situation, but everybody just like grow up.
Yeah,
about
grow
it.
up
Like,
for sure. But
everybody,
as soon as, because now it's impacting her profession.
yeah.
So it's not like just
Weird.
her mom and her boss are now sleeping together, whatever, grow up. It's, he says he won't, he does. That she should grow up on. I agree with you. But then they hide it. And then
Yeah.
she hires a writer.
Yes.
He then hires her mom.
Yeah.
Lies.
Yes.
Doesn't let her into this event. When she finds out from that point in the movie, I feel like until her best friend starts giving her a hard time for not noticing that she broke up with her boyfriend, I feel like Joey King really takes it on the chin in this movie, and I don't think it's fair.
Yeah.
because
No, that hurt him giving the script to her mom. I was like, ooh.
yeah,
Ooh, that stings right
because
there.
that's not
tough.
grow up, be an adult.
No.
That's like
Right
By the
behind
way,
your
we
back.
found another script writer.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is a good
Oh,
way.
yeah.
This seems like the right
it's a
time.
really good time to
uh,
tell you.
screenwriter.
We brought
Do
you
they
some
need my
earrings.
files,
We
or-
brought you some
No.
diamond earrings.
Oh,
though.
wonderful.
You've been looking for a new pair of
Keeping
studs,
these,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Of course.
The last one I had was when she took him to the grocery store at the end, which that scene phenomenal with the mist. She pulled into that parking spot crooked, which drove me nuts to see happen. She was on the line.
She's on the line. That's
on
the
the
thing
line.
I know.
And she didn't straighten it out. She just left it there.
She's on the line.
Which you can't
But,
unless you're far away.
but it is a set. It's a set. At
It
that
is.
point.
You're
So
right.
you can do whatever you
You
want
can do
to.
whatever you want, but also out of respect for the person next to you.
But there is no person next. It's a set. No one's going to park next to him.
But out of respect still, when she came out though, even this was even worse. When she came out, it had been moved. It was obviously a different shot, and she was perfectly aligned in the middle. So I guess movie magic
Movie
chalked it
magic.
there,
Yeah,
but
that is a wait. What? Her not moving the car when it's on a set. I don't get why that's a problem. But them coming back out and it being fixed. That's
yeah,
a wait. What?
Yeah.
It was
So,
just bothering you.
bothered me the beginning and then the end where I saw they clearly fixed it.
Yeah. Come
on.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
I only have a couple. One, you shouldn't be able to climb gates like that. It defeats the
mean you
purpose.
shouldn't?
It defeats the purpose of the gate to have slots big enough for your shoes to fit in, so you can easily climb it.
It's just for decoration.
She had no problem climbing that
It's an
gate. Is my thing.
ornamental- it's an ornamental gate.
If you're that famous, you need a better gate.
I saw
It needs
Ornamental Gate live.
Yeah.
really
The
good.
death metals.
Really
hard to
good.
get in, man.
Segment.
Really good. It's just a segment.
That's
all.
it.
It's just
They
a segment.
for one segment, they go
Just in and out of it.
absolutely ham.
Yeah.
Nothing offensive about it though either.
It's an ornamental gate. He's got security.
Him
He's got
being
those
able
dogs.
to able to sing like that while being inside of a giant beach ball is really impressive, because you think that the air would kind of
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah.
all I'm saying is she climbed it. it defeats the purpose of gate if you can climb it over that quickly. You don't think so,
It
Dan?
does not defeat purpose of Gate.
Why? Tell
Gate
me
is-
why.
First of all, Gate is ornamental. That's first of all. That's part of having a lavish house.
Not
is
if you're
having
that
Gate.
if you're that famous.
Second of all,
part of it is for
It
security.
is still a deterrent, even if you can climb it.
She climbed it willy-nilly.
I'm just saying the gate is primarily ornamental, and then
You
secondarily,
keep saying that. You don't know what it's like to be that famous.
You don't either.
I don't, but his whole thing is he
But
doesn't
he
go
has a
out in public.
He has a security system. When he's like asleep, he has a security system that is on that would keep someone from doing that.
I think you're over emphasizing
under-emphasizing
the ornamental of it.
Over ornamental
or
gate.
under.
This.
I'd like to get
That-
a look at some
It
other
doesn't,
gates.
it doesn't have to be that easy to climb. Is all I'm
All
saying.
right, I've got two. That's all
I have
I've
one
got.
more.
Okay. Oh, my
I have
bad.
one
Go
more.
ahead,
No,
buddy.
it's okay. I was there's okay. So she does this whole freak out at Chris and her mom, and does this whole thing. She goes over to her friend's house. The newest host of Double Dare, shout out, and her friend who's been like really like
She's got a nice gate, I'm sure.
all about
Impenetrable gate.
100%. Once you start hosting alongside Mark Summers, you get a nice gate for your house.
Nothing against
everyone
Mark
knows that.
Summers,
Everybody
I
knows
hope.
that.
No,
Okay.
and they did the right thing because it's like Mark Summers probably shouldn't host his show anymore.
Mark Hummers.
But we need Mark
doesn't
Summers
host.
is Double Dare. So we need
Yeah.
we need a new, fresher host to host alongside of Mark Summers, which I thought was a really smart move on Nickelodeon's part. What I'm trying to say is she is like she's like all like about she's
Brandon talking about Nickelodeon.
she's all
my
about
bad.
the
You missed
Mark
drama.
Summers
Oh,
stuff?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
not again.
The life and slimes of Mark Summers. We could have gone and saw it for free. You guys didn't want to. You guys
No,
said,
we heard back on that.
yeah, we
I'd
could have
gone.
gone.
know about
It's
that
in New
either.
York. We would have had
We
to
know
go.
the whole thing. If we got tickets, we were going. You didn't tell me on purpose.
I did not tell you on purpose.
You did.
I did not.
You
I
didn't
said
tell
it.
me on purpose.
She's down for the drama and all that all movie. And then she goes over to her house. She walks in and she's like, I can't believe you didn't recognize that me and my boyfriend had broken up 10 days ago. And
Yeah.
she's like, well, I was over here and he was here. She's like, I didn't want to tell you that. You can't
That's
can't
right.
get mad at
That's
someone
exactly right.
when
Yes.
when you don't tell them that you've broken up. You can't
Yes.
by all every metric. You go over there. They're still living together. They're still together. Why would I think that you broke up? You can't be mad at me. I can't get in trouble for this because
right.
you didn't tell me.
That's right.
Now that I know, I'm
Yes.
happy to help you here. But she just like, I can't believe you didn't notice that last time you were over and we were there, you didn't know that we were broken up. It's messed up, man. It's messed up, man, Dano.
The most frustrating this movie is that scene because all of a sudden we're just piling on this lead character like she has lost the plot of this and it's all her fault and she's a narcissist and a maniac and and I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. There was no reason she would have known that information. It was crazy. It was just crazy.
And
that was
as the new host of Double Dare alongside Mark Summers,
alongside Mark Summers,
she should do better.
Yeah, she should do better.
Yeah.
Is what she should do.
Like she did with her gate. It's a great gate.
I just have
Great
two.
gate.
The first one, though, is a big one. In this movie, I actually have three. I do need to point out that if this guy said she could work her way up to associate producer and she did nothing but be personal assistant for 2 years and she quit, and then this guy comes back and says, I really need you back. I'll make you associate producer. She should 100% not do that. This is a guy that's only promising her a promotion because he's using her. And I thought that was a weird dynamic to establish in this movie. Early in the movie, Zac Efron says, I need you to go get the stuff from my ex-girlfriend's house. And he throws out some things like a shirt, underwear, and then he just says, my autographed Jordans. Okay, you have a pair of autographed Michael Jordans. Those shouldn't move from place to place. If you have a pair of autographed Jordans, those should just stay wherever you live in a case. There should be a partition between people looking at those shoes and those shoes, even if you were as famous as Zac Efron is. And he just alludes like I guess they're at her house. And I'm like, all right, well, that's weird. Then he picks the stuff up from Joey King, grabs a bag, and he says that the shoes are dirty. So he doesn't, not only does he have a pair of autographed Michael Jordans, he's wearing them and wearing them to where they're like wearing them in dirt. What? No one.
Basketball shoes.
No one would do this on planet Earth. No one would just wear routinely a pair of autographed Jordans.
Check Ryan's shoes right now.
They were autographed, but I started wearing them, and
They rubbed right
unfortunately-
off.
Stand corrected. And then lastly, this movie underuses Christmas. I don't think the way you guys characterized it is correct. I don't think. What did you say? What was the phrase you used? You didn't
It's
say underused.
offensive.
Offensive and
Yeah.
abused.
No.
Yeah.
It's just a movie that takes place during Christmas. I think originally it was a Christmas movie and they recut it.
Imagine if it was a full Christmas.
yeah.
Imagine if it was dripping.
But I
with
mean,
Christmas.
he's supposed to be like this weird violent night
Wish it were
Santa
dripping
kind of
with
character in this movie. There's a Christmas tree. Clearly, all of a sudden in this movie that is underused Christmas, I will grant you that. On New Year's Eve, they play a 100% Christmas song. Like this song is, you looked it up, Bran. It was it is the first
Yeah, it
one
was,
all movie.
The Kelsey Ballerina song?
Casey Musgraves.
Kelsey Ballerina did a
Yes.
cover though that was also excellent.
With
Casey-
Leon Bridges.
Yes, with
Yes,
yes.
Casey Musgraves.
Which they fade out the Leon Bridges part, which
They
is
sure
offensive.
do. Yeah.
That's offensive.
That's tough. That's tough. All movie long, you haven't played any Christmas music. You haven't done it. You're doing a different thing. And then we get to New Year's Eve and you decide I'm breaking out the full Christmas single. That didn't make any sense to me at all.
No, the confusing part is that song gets played after Christmas.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So there is one other, like there's a Christmas song in the background while they're
Correct.
doing the Christmas stuff.
But they decide to break out a Christmas
And-
single
yeah, that's weird.
after Christmas in the movie happens.
Yeah, that's
So,
weird.
yeah, there's that.
Offensive.
It's time for What the Hallmark. It's where we wonder what could have been, maybe have some clarity, any questions that we still have. Right? What are you still wondering about, pal?
Yeah, they did watch the ball drop for New Year's Eve.
They did.
And on the screen it said pre-recorded.
Yeah, because they're West Coast.
Right. West Coast, Best Coast, they say.
I would say West Coast
guess.
because
Yeah, I would
you have to
say.
watch it on pre-recorded.
So I'm watching it. I'm like, man, how sad is that?
So
Like,
sad.
How
I had the
lucky are
same
we
thought.
to live here on the Beast Coast
Beast
and get
Coast,
to
East
watch
Coast,
it
Beast
in
Coast.
real time?
We get to watch Ryan Seacrest count down in real
Real
time.
time.
real time.
Like we hear him saying the numbers
Everyone
while he's
can
saying,
watch it in real time, I think. I think
But
if they wanted
how's-
to watch the 9 o'clock,
You think? Yeah, I
I
guess
think
like
they could, yeah.
I don't know how that works.
should be illegal.
It should be illegal.
Actually.
They
You
should
should have to
make it
wait
illegal.
until midnight.
That's right.
Just made me kind of like wonder. Are people sad when they have to watch it.
I will say, as a lifelong Yankee fan, Central Coast game starting at 6 p.m. kind of nice. Now that
Oh,
I'm getting
Central
older.
Time. I think
Central-
we're leaning
Central
towards
Time's
that.
Ventral
yeah.
Time. Yeah, yeah.
Ventral
We've-
Time. Absolutely.
Yeah. Central Time, Ventral Time. I've said it for years.
Laxadacious or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you guys said is 100%
Yes,
correct.
of course.
I think we would all agree.
Central Time,
Central's got it.
Ventral Time.
They've got it the best. They've
Yeah.
got it, they've got it the best.
Yes.
Mine was one. I understand the Christmas song being your wait what. It's also like I'm mad at myself that I have not listened to the entire Casey Musgraves Christmas album. It was a good reminder. And I don't really know how that's a what the Hallmark. It's more of like a hey remind me, hey Siri,
Hey,
remind
Siri,
me to give this album a whole listen because I really
Aaron,
like the
write
song.
that down, please.
Aaron, write that down. I really liked the song, and
Same.
I love Leon Bridges, and I've heard I
Leon
think a
Bridges
couple
is
of other
great.
songs from the album, but I haven't listened to the whole thing, and so I wonder if it's good.
She's got some real good. Some
I
good
guess
ones.
by what the Hallmark is. Wonder if it's good.
What's up with that?
Wonder
what's up with that?
wonder what the rest of that
Is it about
album's
this
like.
weather?
Yeah, I wonder what that album's like, huh? Dana?
Yeah, mine really is. I wonder what the original cut of this movie was, and I'm not doing a bit here. I do believe that this movie was supposed to come out long before it actually did come out. It's got a lot of big names in it. This felt like a recut, a reimagining of this movie. And I want to know what the original one was. Tonally, there's just a problem here with this movie from scene to scene. And so I feel like it just went through too many iterations, and I would love to see what originally we were supposed to get, because these actors are good enough to make most movies work. So that's it.
It is time for Double Decker of the Week, and where we dive deep into the life of one of the double deckers. Brian, you do that deep dive via the Google Plus credentials that were passed over
Pass
to
over
you.
to me. Yeah, I got the security key.
Who do we have today, Dano?
We have Patty Barton.
Oh,
Patty Barton.
Patty Barton.
Patty
A
Barton.
great double decker. Actually celebrating quite a milestone, Patty is.
Really?
Yeah. She just found out the results of an obstacle course. She finished
Time
it.
out. She
Yeah.
found.
Like,
All right, no, we have so many things we have to cover on what you just
Already?
said. She she just did an obstacle course. She didn't create one.
She went through it. She
Went
did not
through it.
make it. She performed.
And she didn't find those results out immediately?
No,
What
that's the
has
thing
to get
about
tallied
it.
up?
You have to. You go through the course.
Yeah.
It's tough.
How do you do it?
Rigorous.
What are we doing there?
Just like
Yeah.
what the
Yeah,
finger.
yeah,
You
yeah.
just
Couple of
go
things,
through
yeah,
the
like-
course.
yep.
It's more of a zigzag. You really
Okay.
got to work through.
It's an obstacle course.
And it's the big obstacle is what's on the ground. It's like sharp objects.
Okay.
Like, like stepping on Legos, what have you.
Okay.
Sharp things, like not comfortable. And so you get through it. And the bummer is you get through, you don't know if you've actually finished properly because there are different ways to finish, or if you actually did it in time because there is a deadline, like a timeline for it. So she got through and she found out she did it correctly. And so
That's
she
awesome.
celebrated Patty. So congrats, Patty.
What is this holiday? Like, if I wanted to do it, what does it have a name or something?
It
like
does.
That?
It
Okay.
does.
great.
Oh, thank God.
It does have a name.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I thought there
yeah.
wasn't one. I thought it was just,
That was it.
congrats, Patty. Merry Christmas.
No, it's due to the nature of it. This is called the tax evasion, and she successfully completed her way through tax evasion.
Are you saying that Patty Barton, much like Al Capone, committed tax fraud?
No, I mean, did he step on a bunch of sharp objects and make it through in within the deadline?
Why did
I
the
don't know.
results of the tax evasion take so long?
That's a great question. They don't let you know until they get
Does it
around
have anything
to
to
it.
do with the IRS, or is it just that the obstacle course is taxing?
Like, no, it's like tax.
You're
Like
stepping on
thumbtacks.
thumbtacks and things
You
like
didn't
that.
get that?
Oh, okay.
From the
Sharp.
get-go?
Well, you said
Sharp.
Legos.
Tax.
Yeah, other sharp objects like tacks,
Okay.
thumbtacks, if you will.
Wouldn't you know right away if you avoided the taxes? Like, why?
You
Why
would-
is
I
the,
don't know why the results
tax.
took that long.
That's a good
But
question.
this
Nobody
is one of
really
those
does.
Where, why didn't she start the business? Why didn't she start like?
Yeah. Well, she doesn't really believe in tax evasion.
Okay.
Is
why'd
she's
she
not
do
a
the
big
obstacle
fan.
course?
It was like a family birthday party. She had to do it.
It's a family affair.
She dragged along.
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
family affair. So Patty, congrats.
Fantastic. We're going to be back next time with another one. Brian, you're going to be back later this week for the August preview show. Everybody
Cannot
can look
wait.
forward to that.
Thank goodness.
Until then, we're the first to wish you a
Merry Christmas.
The Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.